A little bit of... It's like that episode of SpongeBob where he's trying to do his essay and he starts sliding around, scraping.
Yeah.
Then Gary's like, bro, do your essay. And he's like, jeez, Patrick, what a chatterbox.
Remember when he put off his essay and it ended up burning his house down?
That's why you should stay in school, kids, and give it your all.
That's why you should always do your essay on time.
Or you'll burn your entire family's
You might
establishment
burn
down.
your house down. I've definitely done assignments that made me want to burn my house down.
With you in it.
Yeah. You know, there's some times where I read an assignment requirement, I go, I'm about to blow this place up and everybody in it, including me.
Everybody.
This place being my house.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be worthwhile correction, actually.
I'd like to correct the record.
I'm gay. But the record has remained the same. I'm confused.
Also, by the way, apparently 4 bottles of water was a questionable offense to my dad.
We need it for the lube we're making. Why? What
He's like, what, are you having a party? We're trying to stay hydrated, bro. I'm thirsty.
That's the most boomer thing ever. You walk away with literally 70 cents.
4 bottles of water.
For 2 people.
For 2 people. Each was at 2 bottles.
Oh, someone has friends.
Bro, sit there, act like he don't drink 8 bottles of water a day.
That's mad funny. Your dad needed you to sign him out.
I need to get a permission slip.
Give me your fucking ID. Oh my god. That's wicked funny. That's so fucking funny.
Oh, man.
Just the thought of him, of all the things we've done, that's the...
That was the one he questioned. Not the time we went, hey, we're going to go out for a bit, and came back with stuff from the fucking liquor store.
And then just shambled down to a basement.
In the middle of the day.
And then shambled down to the basement. Or the time we were like, hey, we're going to a hotel for 3 days alone.
Alone.
With cameras and lights. It's the water bottles.
Water bottles that are questionable.
Oh, it's the most boomer thing ever. That's something my dad would do.
Oh, man.
You could be like, you could have a 44 Magnum in your mouth and you're like, you go in the fridge and you have the door open too long. My dad's like, bro's gonna have
You're letting out all the cold.
How are we gonna get more cold to put in the fridge?
How are we gonna get more cold than the thing that generates cold?
My dad's under the firm belief that if you open the fridge for more than 30 seconds, everything inside expires.
Everything inside just disappears.
It's like, disappears.
All right, let's do an actual intro, huh? Good pre-show banter on this one.
Good pre-show banter. I kind of like the lighting on this one, by the way. I feel like I'm a little bit maybe blown out on this side, but like...
You do a little color correction.
I'm just going to make it red. Whole thing.
Hello and welcome to the 134th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by our other host, Jordan.
That's me, baby.
Jordan, tell everyone the platforms.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed, all linked below. And as always, there's Instagram, TikTok. You can contact us. There's also our email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. It's all linked below.
Yes.
And Spotify and YouTube have a video platform. I think I don't have to say that anymore. I mean, come on, man. We're a bit experienced. Everyone knows we have a video platform.
Everyone knows.
It was kind of a gargantuan event.
If this is your first episode you're seeing, you knew already. You
knew. Like, there was signage about it. The government talked about it.
Yeah, no, Joe Biden gave a press release about it.
Dude, he was like, check out my app of choice.
He said, check out my podcast of choice is the Synapse Misfire Podcast with Chris and Jordan. And this is my podcasting app of choice, Pocket Cast. But if you go on Spotify or YouTube, they have video platform on there. That's what he said.
Yeah,
I remember when he said that. I said, shout out Joe. That's what I said. I was there on stage with him, actually.
You dapped him up.
Yeah. So, we're looking rather angelic today.
Yeah.
The lighting got a lot cooler.
We're a couple of cool fellers, so we had to cool it down.
We had to cool it down a bit.
We're gonna fall asleep in the middle.
We got I got some lights moved over here,
Courtesy of your
right
dad
behind
and
the
you.
camera. And they have daylight bulbs in them, and they're pointed at us.
Actually, they're 5,000 Kelvin. That's just before daylight.
I'm gonna put you in a 5,000 Kelvin fucking furnace in a minute.
Oh shit.
So we adjusted our other lights to compensate. So now
Kind of. This is all eyeballed, the side lights, but soon there might be improvements.
We eyeballed a little bit. We're a couple of eyeballers.
Couple of ballers.
A couple of ballers, you know. I'm not gonna brag. I have 17 cents to my name right now.
I'm not gonna brag, bro. I got like $40.
If I look between the couch cushions, I maybe got 35, 45 cents.
I already looked there. I took it.
Fuck.
Chris, so aside from poverty, what have you been up to?
Man, I've just been living. I've just been existing.
Have you been schooling?
Yeah, I do a little schooling here and there. You know, on occasion.
Escuela? Yeah.
I finished a project.
Yeah, what was that about?
It was a simple web server in C. And
How much dedicated wham did you take to the server?
I don't think it was a lot. I don't think it was.
I don't think it was a lot.
I don't think it was a lot.
It's a Minecraft.
So I worked on that,
Okay.
and you know, I probably put more effort into it than I should have.
For like a little side piece project, yeah.
But you know,
Bit of an overachiever.
a bit of an overachiever. Simply because, by the way, I wasn't given like clear instruction. So basically, we were gonna follow the HTTP 0.9 standard. I'm gonna get a bit technical for a minute. HTTP 0.9 was a standard from 1991, and it was basically your browser will send a request and it'll say get this file, and we'll send a carriage return line feed. So basically like a return, just an enter. And then the server it's contacting will say, okay, I have this file, here it is, and it'll just send like a plain text file. And you can display stuff with it. Problem is, no browsers really support that anymore.
Because it's so outdated, yeah.
And you need at least like 1.1 compliance. So I had to include like HTTP 1.1 headers. I had to like figure out how to like do content length and stuff so it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
Sounds
and
like it.
That stuff was not in the project guidelines, but it works, so you know.
Yeah. No, that, I mean, if you got it working, who's gonna say something, you know? That last professor that you did that project for didn't even fucking use it. Didn't even
The
open
same
it.
professor, so.
Oh, there you go.
He's probably well, you didn't have to do this. I'm marking you down to 87 points.
You are now have a 13 in this class.
It's like, how about I mark you down 87 points? Okay?
Chris Woody is fucking. Here's another SpongeBob reference for you. Chris is like, how many points did I get? 13. Ooh, and how many do I need to pass? 13. Ooh, 100. Huh? That's right, Chris.
Yeah, so, you know, if it ends up being an issue, like, hey, you did way too much for this project, you know, something might happen to the battery of his new Tesla, you know?
Oh, is a new Tesla?
I think so. He talked about it a lot. How he
As
was
a
buying
Tesla
one.
guy would do. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I can't really discount them. I haven't stopped talking about the Steam Deck in 2 years, so.
I mean, he had gotten this. He went to go look at a Tesla, and in the process of test driving it, I think they gave him one overnight, and it died on the highway.
Like battery died or like broke down, broken?
Like battery died. He ran
okay.
out of range.
That's funny.
So, you know, that's the EV experience, I guess.
I suppose, yeah, that, they had to get that shit there overnight. They just had it pedal to the metal, like, please don't die, please don't die. They got it to like 4 miles to empty. Fuck you. Get wrecked.
You have 4 miles of range.
Yeah.
So.
Bro would have been better off with a bicycle.
So he said he had to go, like, from his house to the Tesla dealership, plug in the rental Tesla, get his car, drive fucking all the way back so that he could get to class on time. And he almost made it on time.
Almost made it, yeah. I don't know. I like the idea of like certain things of like Teslas and EVs, like just the the feeling of driving one, but also the range is really just, as of now, it's a technological limitation. Like, you can only fit so much battery, and you can only get so much range. So.
Well, the range isn't the problem. It's the
fill-up time.
It's the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can go to like a supercharger and charge your car from like 0 to 80% in like 15 minutes, but
Where's the supercharger?
the supercharger network's okay. It's
One's decent. It's the other one.
It's
that sucks.
like Electrify America and shit.
Yeah.
But you can do like DC fast charging and charge your car in like 15 to 20 minutes. But I'm only at the gas station for 5 minutes at a time.
And that's between paying, inserting the nozzle, holding the lever, putting the nozzle back, and then starting the car. Yeah.
Because when I put fuel into the car, it's just instantly there, instead of me having to plug it in and fucking wait. And it's a huge fucking power draw. And not to mention, like, if like the car's battery, the supercharger, the cable, any component overheats or has too much heat, it will throttle your charging like crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't think the infrastructure's there. And it's part of the reason why I like the idea of like hydrogen cars, where it's electric, but you're just putting hydrogen gas in it, and it's using that to generate the electricity instead of a battery.
Right.
So I guess that's how a lot of them work. I think some of them just burn the hydrogen, which is also pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
And it's a lot better for the environment. So.
Yeah, probably cheaper too, I'd imagine, or.
Right now I don't think it is.
Oh no, but if it became more like mainstream sort of.
Because there's only like a handful of these hydrogen fill-up stations in the country, and I think it was like last time I read it's like $15 per. I think they sell it by like the kilogram or something.
Damn.
So, and there's only a handful of hydrogen cars on the market. Like there's one from Toyota.
Of course. Makes sense.
Kia has one, but they're only for sale on like the West Coast. So.
Yeah. Leave it to Kia to not even know how to make a gas car, but be like, we're gonna make a hydrogen car.
They know how to make a gas car that will last you 60,000 miles.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Nissan Versa that I had as a rental. I was looking into that CVT a little and like talking to some people about it. They're like, yeah, failure points usually like 75,000 miles. I'm like, cool. That's exactly what I want to buy a car and think about.
Yeah, that sucks. What was I saying? What was I gonna say?
My professor is Tesla.
What was I gonna say, Jordan? Oh yeah, so Hyundai. Fun fact about Hyundai.
About Hyundai.
Who also, Hyundai Kia, same company. Hyundai actually, there was an Elantra, in a promotional video about this, there was an Elantra that went 1 million miles. And the first video they put out was they gave the woman who owned the car a little golden badge to put on it that said 1M. And everyone was like, why don't you just give her a new car? And then they finally just gave her a new car.
Yeah.
They gave her like a new Elantra, which is
probably already broken down.
probably. So, there's at least one Hyundai that's gone 1 million miles. So.
Right. Right.
And there's at least almost all the other ones that have gone less than 100,000.
Yeah.
So,
what are you gonna do?
Take that as you will.
You could get a 1 in a million shot.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how their electric vehicles are. I heard the Ioniq 5 is pretty neat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing like with Chevy too. I know a lot of people talk about how bad the Chevy Cruze is, but there's one guy I see on TikTok from time to time who's got like 635,000 miles, and like he just maintains it. And the car's in like pristine condition. You can tell he just maintains it, and everyone's always like, oh, how many transmissions did you put in? And he's like, no, it's factory. Or like, how many motors? Like, no, it's factory.
Damn, that's
but like
crazy.
he's done like the usual maintenance you'd expect at that point. But like so far, the car has pretty much just held its own. It's kind of surprising. You sometimes just get cars like that, you know?
Yeah, you do get special cases. There was a video I saw of a guy who was talking about how his truck, I forget what truck it was, but it went 1 million miles. And in the process of telling the story how his truck went 1 million miles, he was like, yeah, I put 13 transmissions in it. After like one, I'm going to get rid of the fucking thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
like, if it's a relatively new vehicle, like, 4 or 5 years old at the most, and the transmission inexplicably goes out, I'm gonna replace it. I'll eat that cost and immediately get rid of the car.
Yeah.
New transmission, come get it.
Yeah.
Because I know if it's probably gonna need another one.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah, that's the thing too. A lot of people say that like my car lasts so long, but then it, went through all this maintenance and special work. I always try to look at it as like for every Toyota that we joke about, where it's like the Corolla goes forever, the Corolla's fucking unbeatable, my Yaris is unbeatable. There's always someone out there who bought a Corolla and it died off the lot. Like, there's someone out there that it's happened to.
Oh, it definitely has happened.
So
but I don't think it's nearly as common as with any other vehicle.
No, it's not. Sometimes you just get those ones that are like, huh? How? But shit happens. You know,
I think Toyota needs to sponsor us. Toyota needs to send us both brand new GR Corollas.
Nah, Supra for me. I'll take a Supra.
I heard the new one's pretty good. The with the 6-speed.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking because we were talking about that last time. Or was it us that was talking about that last time?
It was one of the times.
I was talking about someone with a Supra, and how Toyota listens to their customers. Maybe it was you on the last one. I don't remember.
No, we definitely brought it up one time.
Yeah.
So, we're a couple of car guys. A couple of
I'm a bit of a car enthusiast. I got a 2009 Chevy Cobalt.
A bit of an enthusiast.
LS with crank windows that don't work. Dude, I wish the crank windows in the Cobalt were nearly as nice as the ones in the Yaris. The Yaris, I can be like, beep, 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 and they're gone. This one, I'm like, and fucking turn that bitch. It's like I'm fucking powering up the entire city's fucking windmill infrastructure with that one turn.
Jesus.
Shit.
You also, you replaced the handle because you fucking ripped it off from trying to crank the window.
So I kept cranking the window and I kept slipping and it would pop off the little knob and I'd punch the dash and it would hurt. So I replaced the handle, but in the process of replacing the handle, I got the left side or the driver's side off, no problem. It's just like push the pin, pull it off. Passenger side I fucked with it for like 15 minutes. Now this was like summertime, so it's kind of hot. I just was like, you know what? What are you gonna do? I just grabbed the handle and ripped it off the door and snapped it or whatever. So then I replaced it, but it's the regulator itself that's shit. It's the handle hasn't slipped anymore because it's new. But
does it need to be like greased or just replaced?
I greased it when I got the car and it lasted like a year and a half, and it never was like great. But this is like literally you cannot be driving and crank this window down.
How can Chevrolet just not get window regulators right?
Yeah.
Even the fucking manual crank ones they can't do properly.
Yeah. So
the
one that's in the Yaris, dude, is fucking mint. And that's the door that got hit. The driver's door that's crushed in on the Yaris is just like perfect, dude. Just perfect. Just fucking squeak that bitch down. Like
it's
Cobalt,
perfect.
It's horrible, dude. Going to a drive-thru, I'm like, fuck. Like, especially in the cold, like in the Yaris, I'll pull it down, pull it back up. Wait. The Cobalt, I'm like, I have to just leave this down because I don't even know if it's going back up. Need a sunroof.
They open the window and you're like, I try to open the window.
I'm on the other side of the car with like multiple adapters, like it's like a QTE. I'm sitting in a spamming
like
circle.
It makes like a machine noise, like a big gear.
I'm playing Uncharted over here, trying to open
He's
a
doing
tomb.
Puzzles. He's got to solve a puzzle first.
Oh, man. And then I go right back around by the window, get back in the car, and then I reach through the window and grab the drink. Like, all right, bye. And then I get back out, go to the other side, and roll it up. It's literally a fucking Tomb Raider puzzle, dude.
Oh, man.
I fucking can't with those crank windows on the Cobalt. I got to do something. I'm gonna replace them, but I might call around and just see if a shop will do it for like $250 or something, because like I really don't feel like doing it. I really don't feel like spending the time to do it. But.
Yeah. That's kind of the end game I'm at right now. It's like I don't really fucking feel like working on my car anymore.
Yeah.
You know, especially like mundane shit. Like, the guy who knows how to do it is gonna know how to do it. So I'm just gonna have him do it.
Right.
And it's not gonna cost me nearly as much, or in terms of
labor for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's just gonna cost me a little bit more money.
Yeah, something Giraffe Man always said to me was, what do you have more of, time or money? And that will dictate it. And at this point in my life, I'm like, I probably have
neither.
More. I have neither, but I can probably part with the money easier than the time.
Yeah, like I have neither, but I'm more happy spending the money than I am spending the time. Yeah. Because that time could be used elsewhere.
Yeah. Alone in the dark with my lube.
Is that what you do instead of working on your cars?
Yeah. I send the cobalt in, and then while it's gone, I'm just like, all right, now's my time.
Now's the time. You turn off all the lights, you block out all the windows, make sure it's like pitch black in your apartment.
I have 100 blackout curtains all through the room. But yeah, I gotta get that exhaust fits. I'm actually gonna be going Monday to be like, hey, can this like pass with the exhaust issue? So
will you slide this one through for inspection?
Like, Monday is gonna determine whether or not the Cobalt gets parked at my dad's for the next 3 months or stays on the streets, because I'm not working on that bitch until it's nicer weather.
Fair.
Because I have to straight pipe it. So I mean, I ain't doing that in the cold. It ain't happening. So I'm hoping they're just like, it's just noise, no codes. It's post cat. Like, it's literally just before the muffler. Like, it's literally just an audible thing. And then if it does fail, I just flex seal the dick out of it, like I said, and
fair.
Bring it back maybe and try again.
Put a little flex tape on there.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just hope it passes. I don't feel like dealing with that car anymore, or any car.
Bro's over it. I've also been kind of over it, frankly, myself. You know.
I just want stuff that works. You know.
Yeah.
Like, I just want, the Yaris is doing its Yaris thing. It's a Toyota. It's doing what it does, you know. Sometimes it makes the weird noise where I'm like, this is it, huh? This is how we end? But then,
so this is the end, huh?
But then it keeps going, you know. But sometimes, I put the clutch in and the whole car starts shaking with the clutch in, and I'm like, okay, I guess this is where it ends. And then the car's like, no, hang on. All right, I'm good.
I still got more.
It's like the day we were at work and Chris and I were sitting outside the Yaris while it was running, and you would just hear it, running, and then it would go.
The idle was going crazy.
It just does that. I don't know.
It just does that on occasion.
It would help if I had a tachometer. Maybe I could tell you why, but I don't know. It just does it.
That's great.
I don't fucking know. It just sits there. And it's just like, okay, I'm good. Like it's gas or something, dude.
You know what? I'm just gonna get my Hyundai accent again.
Same exact one.
Same exact one. I'm gonna find it.
You have the VIN number? Maybe we can make that a video.
I'm gonna go find it.
We're gonna search up that VIN, find out who owns it. We're gonna drive them. We're just gonna fucking open the door to their house while they're eating dinner and be like, "Here's the money. Give us the car." They're like, "What?"
I'll just walk in and I'll take the keys. I go, I'm taking the car out for a little bit.
They're like, all right, yeah, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, sure, man.
Then they're like, wait a minute.
That car had a cool issue where you would put the key in the ignition and it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't turn. And you had to take the steering wheel and jam it down to get past the fucking lockout.
Yeah.
Which I would expect to see on something that's older.
Yeah.
But I bought that car when I was brand new. Or when I was brand new. When it was brand new.
Just at the womb, give me that.
Yeah. When I crawled right out. I went, here's my money.
Bitch. He was the size of you.
I drove away a Hyundai that day. No, I bought it when it was brand new, so...
Yeah, I remember it was funny. We were talking about previous stories and stuff. I remember when you bought that car. This was pre-podcast, and we had met at Jason's house for a party. I don't know if you remember that. It's where we got to meet his dog and his cats.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I ever saw the accent was I had the Explorer at that point still. And it was on its last legs or whatever. And Chris and I were like, oh, hey, long time no see, man. Hey, how's it going? Chris said he got a new car. And I was like, oh, cool, let me check it out. And I remember looking at this car just being for the time when we were both 18, being like, man, that's fucking nice.
I mean...
that's a nice car. And then you realize it's just, there's a lot of shortcomings with Hyundais in general.
Well, I think it's more so, it's the effect you get if you use like a Chromebook for everything, and then you get like a MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, this is the best thing I've ever had.
Yeah.
I was driving my 2002 Jeep Liberty.
And I had my 03 Explorer.
And that fucking thing was garbage.
Yeah.
And then I got the Hyundai. I was like, damn, this is nice. I push the button, the AC works. That's wild.
My car, push the button, the AC comes on, the car stalls. But, yeah, I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, man, that's pretty nice. And then, Chris went home. I went home. And I remember telling Letsy that night, I was like, it's a pretty nice car. I should get one. And I just never did. And then I moved out.
For the best.
Then I moved out. Then the Explorer exploded. And then I ended up with the Cobalt.
Nice.
Things happen for a reason. And arguably, the Cobalt's a much better car than the Explorer in many ways. But I still like the Explorer more.
Well, the
Big
Cobalt works.
Yeah.
Has a functioning transmission.
And AC. Like, everything works on it. It doesn't just stall randomly. Like, it's chilling. It's being chilling. But,
I mean, to be fair, though, that Cobalt has worked better than my Fiesta, so...
True. You know, a fun thing about the Explorer, right, is if I was on a slight incline and I tried to do a 3-point turn, when I would cut the wheel left and go into the curb, it would stall. So, yeah. Something, I think my dad used to, like, when he was just kind of spitballing, like, what it could be, I think he was saying it might have something to do with, like, gas level and then the fuel pump, whereas I'm on the incline like this on the side, the pump might be trying to pull it this way and it can't. It's just weak or whatever, because I did that at Letsy's mom's. I literally went down the street. It was like, oh, I got to turn around, because it was actually downhill. It was downhill. I was like, oh, there's people working at the base of this hill. I got to turn around. And I just turned into the curb and I went, Phew. I was like, huh. And then it wouldn't really start up for a couple seconds. Yeah, and then it wouldn't start up for a few seconds, which was kind of a scary situation to be in, because my only option was to continue rolling downhill with no power steering and no power brakes on a 5,600-pound SUV. A little bit scary.
Probably,
especially having owned it for like a year at that point, so I was fairly new to driving. So like now I'd be like, check this shit out.
Check this, fucking.
I just pick up the car and like walking up the hill.
Stick my feet out the windows, or stick my feet out the door, and I go. And I stop the car.
But yeah, being fairly, it's funny the confidence you gain as you just do something. Like now I've hydroplaned like very slightly before, and I'm just like, oh man, that sucked. Like that shit.
Yeah.
I've spun on snow, and I'm like, oh, that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But like when I was first driving, it was like I would hit the slightest bit of snow and be like, oh my god, like freaking out.
That was
I'm just like, oh whatever.
That was me with my Fiesta on those bald ass summer tires, bro. And then I ended up
crashing for real.
Ditched in a snowbank. So you know.
Yeah.
And then people were trying to help me. There was people trying to help me, and they were like, nah, your tires got nothing on them. And I know they don't. I was 2 days away from replacing them, okay?
Yeah. I ever tell you the scariest story of my life driving in my dad's truck with him?
No.
Get this, right? I want to say it was either 70, 19, either it was his 92 or his 78, so whatever, like a couple year difference or whatever. He had this old ass F-150. Right? And we're driving, and obviously it's rear wheel drive, it's old as fuck. And we get to a point where we're going up a hill, and a really, really steep hill in my city. I can tell you which one after, but not that you'd really know anyway, but it's very steep, probably the steepest one in the entire city, and it's snowing. It's like all snowed, not plowed. He doesn't have four-wheel drive working on this thing. He's just like, we're going to full send it. Like, we're just going to full send it. Literally, this hill's like this. Like,
zero weight over the drive wheels.
Yeah, he's like, we're just going to send it. And literally, my dad just is driving, hits this hill, immediately the car starts to turn sideways. I'm like 12. I'm like this in the passenger seat, dude, like pucker. And he was just having a conversation with me going like this with the wheel. Literally just going like this the whole time, back and forth, back and forth. And literally the car must have been going like this the whole time. The whole way up the hill, side to side. Like, I'm convinced the fucking thing was twerking, bro.
He does not give a fuck. I've done this before.
Yeah, literally just having a conversation with me, like, not even a break in stride, dude. He's just like, going.
Having a conversation, casual, calm conversation, with one hand on the wheel. He's got his other hand is holding a coffee. He's got a cigarette in his mouth. He's like,
he's texting.
he's got his feet up and he's texting with his toes.
It's the, what do we call the 3-button press one, the old flip phone? What the fuck is that called?
Oh, the T9.
T9, he's fucking... Oh, fuck, I made a mistake, hang on.
Beep, 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 beep.
But dude, he did this and I'm like, I'm just like shitting my pants. I'm just shitting my pants. And then, I think it was the same hill. I think it was same truck, same hill, like the way back. He's like, well, we gotta go down it now. And he's like, and I'm like, oh.
Well, time to do this then.
I'm like, oh, okay. So he's like, I'm just gonna put it in first and I'm not gonna touch the brakes. And the car is trying its hardest to like engine brake, but it's just sliding at this point. And I'm just like literally.
We're gonna fucking die. We're gonna die.
I remember this distinct feeling of him being like, he literally was like turning the wheel and we were just staying straight. And he's like, fuck, there's a curve at the end of this hill. And I'm just sitting there like, bro, I'm like shitting my pants. and then he has like this sort of idea. He's like, I have an idea. And as we're getting to the base of this hill, he like puts in the fucking parking brake and swerves us like around this corner.
What the fuck?
And I'm just like, I'm literally like, I'm like, Lord Jesus, fucking save me, please. And he's just like chilling. He's like,
You're
yeah,
preparing for this to be like your last day on Earth, bro.
I'm getting my fucking will written up. I'm fucking putting it in the bottle, throwing it in the lake, like, fuck.
To my cat Oscar, all my possessions.
I'm gonna call my mom, like, Mom, it was nice knowing you, man. Like, damn. And he's just like, yeah, we're good. Scariest fucking thing in my entire life.
That's fucking crazy.
And I used to think my dad was just carelessly nonchalant. No, he's just experienced.
He's a menace.
He's just experienced at this point. Like,
Yeah.
same thing with the Yaris, where, like, he was like, yeah, check this shit out. Pop starts it with the clutch, starts, like, spinning the wheels. I'm like, what? You haven't driven manual since you were, like, 15. You're 60. What are you doing?
Check this shit. And he's like drifting. He's spinning the car. He's got it on one wheel.
He's on the nose of the car. Oh, man.
It does like a front flip.
Even funnier. He was like, check this out, and crashed. into a street pole.
Oh, man. Have you ever seen that video of the guy? It was like a guy in his garage with showing his friends something. And he goes, check this out. And it was his dad's Mustang, like a GT 500. Like it was a
beautiful one, yeah.
Yeah, and he starts it. It turns out it was in gear. And it fucking just crashes right into the garage door.
I hope his dad was dead at that point.
His dad, he goes, the expression of panic that he had was crazy. He's like, my dad's gonna fucking kill me. Because he just crashed this like $80,000 car into the front garage door. Which just goes to show, like, I don't understand how it's legal, but there are a lot of companies that put in clutch bypasses on their cars, like OEM from the factory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can, like the new Tundra, or the new Tacomas have it, where you can turn off the clutch switch. So, like, you don't have to have the clutch in to start the car. Which...
From Toyota?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
From the factory. Which, fucking dangerous, because shit like that happens.
Yeah, that is interesting. I was under the impression it was entirely illegal, but it was just something you could do. That's crazy.
I guess it's not if, like, the factory does it, I guess.
Well, I guess it also depends on states too, because have you seen that video of the guy who gets pulled over by the asshole cop in California, I think it was, for having track mode? He buys like a brand new car, I forget what car, but it's in track mode, which just made it loud as fuck pretty much, and like it's meant for a track, and he gets pulled over and the cop's like, does this car have track mode? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, well, that's illegal in this state. We're taking your car. We're doing this. We do blah, blah, blah. You have to pay $10,000 to get it removed. Like, he gives him, like, a list of shit he has to do.
Well, is the car registered in California?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
I was going to say, if it's not registered in California, I don't think they can do that.
And I don't
think it's subject to their laws.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, though, I'm like, how can they sell a track mode? And that's what the guy in the video said.
Oh, yeah,
He goes,
also,
the guy
how
sold
can
it to
they
me.
sell it if
Yeah, he goes, the guy sold it to me, and the cop goes, he absolutely did not. And he's like, I just bought it from him. And he's like, well, then he told you what about track mode? He goes, no, he didn't. Like, he didn't mention any of that to me. And the cop's like, he most certainly did. It's like, okay, dude.
Buddy, I was there.
Apparently he was, too. He was listening, dude.
He was in the bushes. He had the binoculars. He had a little listening device.
Fucking transcribing it. He's like, shh, with a typewriter.
He's got, like, one of those... He's got a stenographer with him, just like punching at like 400 words per minute.
Yeah, that'd be a good job for Lexi maybe. She was pretty high on words per minute for a while.
Well, stenography is a bit different because
you
like
gotta go crazy.
you have to learn how this stenography machine works.
True.
Because you're typing sounds more than anything.
Ah, I didn't know that actually.
And then you type sounds, and then it just figures out what word you want.
That's fucking weird. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. There's like 8 or 10 buttons on it.
Chris, is it weird that I now want to learn how to use a stenography machine?
I mean, no,
Could we buy
you
one?
could do that. You probably could. I'm not gonna do that.
How much does that go for? That sounds actually sick as fuck.
Probably.
I will transcribe this whole podcast. I'll get 2 of them and do it simultaneously, one for each of us.
It's also a dying industry because at some point they figured out, oh, what if we just use an audio recording?
Or like AI. Like just chat GPT just being like, the fuck?
We'll have ChatGPT preside over this case.
ChatGPT.
Judge ChatGPT.
Yeah, that reminds me of the thing we asked ChatGPT. We asked for like a cheesy one-liner, and it was the dumbest shit ever that's ever been said.
It was a cheesy one-liner.
It was. It understood the assignment, but it just, I would have given that like a C+.
You know what I've learned, Jordan, about ChatGPT?
What's that?
ChatGPT writes shitty code.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. I said, hey, ChatGPT, what am I doing wrong? And I would show ChatGPT my project. And it would spit out like, hey, you should add this. And I go, okay. And it would be like 10 more lines than I need to use.
Oh.
And then I'll ask like, hey, what it's doing this. What am I doing wrong? And I go, you should try this or this. And I go, still don't work. So I don't think ChatGPT is coming for anyone's job anytime soon.
Not soon, no.
Although there is, I think, a new GPT model that they're gonna be releasing soon that May.
Oh shit.
So
That'd be crazy. You can say, yeah. They're pumping this shit out fast, huh? First it was Dolly.
yeah,
Now
well,
it's
because there
this.
was Dolly Mini, which made like horrifying creations.
Oh, did it?
And then now, like, the new Dolly one is, like, it's a much stronger model. So, but, like, some of the other ones are crazy. Like, there's other ones that will skim, like, every piece of art that exists on the internet. Like, billions and billions of images. So,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I mean, yeah, I can't. Not as quickly.
I can't scan billions of images.
Dolly 2 made our fucking Halloween logo, so
Yeah.
he's a bit of a beast.
Yeah,
Shout out to him.
Makes good stuff.
It does.
I will say.
I think if we could get Dolly 2, to get a little more context understanding, like ChatGPT, that'd be even better. Because the thing that I found fascinating about ChatGPT was when we were putting in our prompt, it was like, but what about in this situation? And it would understand the context and kind of modify it a little.
Yeah. If they combine the two models, it would be pretty interesting.
But like Dolly, I'll be like, raining darkness, and then it just like does some shit in the dark. Like I don't know, it's just weird. It doesn't technically understand like the context I'm trying to put it in. Or like if I said, this is gonna be a logo, so we need to leave space for a title. It's not gonna like shift everything over. It's just still gonna make that shit front and center.
Yeah, like if it combined the two, where you say like, hey, I want an image that's this, and it gives you an image, and I go, okay, but what if it was this, and then it changes the image a little bit.
Yeah. Like, hey, what if this was actually like a YouTube banner, and then it like splits it up into like a wide banner and leaves room for text and shit, like something like that. It'd be pretty interesting, I think. But
I think we
it
should
still did a good job.
I think we should write an entire podcast episode just with AI.
That could actually be really funny.
I was thinking about writing an entire video with AI, and that being the concept of the video. It's like, hey guys, I wrote this whole video with AI.
Chris, I think you just sold me on something. I really want to do that now.
Okay.
Coming to you soon, hopefully.
Coming to you soon.
It probably won't be a full hour, but...
It'll be an entire hour-long episode where we could definitely do something similar where we just, like, we take concepts and we feed it to fucking ChatGPT and it's like, construct an answer to this question. Things like that.
Yeah. We'll think about it. We just know that's somewhere in the pipeline now.
Or if we just make an IRL video that's entirely AI generated.
Could do that.
So.
Could do that. But, Chris, I have a hot take.
Do you?
I think now's the time. We're going to have to rebrand this as the AI podcast because we're going to get canceled for this.
Oh, boy.
Bro. My hot take is that Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are the worst things about SpongeBob. I fucking hate them. They suck. They're useless. They're senile. They're decrepit. They should die. They should do a whole episode about them dying. Like, you're telling me they beat Man Ray. Man Ray's like this buff motherfucker who's like 8 feet tall. Incredibly decrepit old man. You should just kick him in the teeth.
I just want to see an incredibly serious episode of SpongeBob where everyone in Bikini Bottom is at Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy's funeral.
Yeah, like, honestly, dude. I would love to see an episode.
And SpongeBob gives, like, a eulogy.
Like, honestly, if the episode opened and then it was just them for a while and then Mermaid Man went, evil, and then got shot with a 50 BMG round, that would be acceptable. Like, that would go down as my favorite episode in the entire series. I fucking hate them.
No, I think Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy kind of suck, too, honestly.
They suck, dude.
They're like, you know, they're mid characters.
Maybe that good. I don't know.
The evil thing, it works like a couple of times, but it's like every time bro is on screen, he won't shut the fuck up, bro.
He just yells evil. He's dumb.
And he's fucking old.
Barnacle Boy is just kind of like, huh? I'm just here. I'm like the dumbass Robin. I'm like Robin, but if I was dumber.
He's like human Squidward.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. And yeah, I don't know. They just like every episode that involves them, I see it. I'm like, skip.
Damn.
I skip. If I know they're gonna be in the episode, I'm like, skip. I don't want this. I don't know if they're in any of the newer episodes. If they are, that would be horrific because they used to be very expressive in the old one, and the new. If you've seen the new SpongeBob animation style, it's very like bombastic. Like the faces are very hyperbolized, basically. So like in the old SpongeBob, you know, SpongeBob would do the sad like face.
Yeah.
And this new one, he turns to like a puddle and does the face. Like his expressions are totally hyperbolized. So like if Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy screamed like evil, I wouldn't doubt that he'd like stretch its feet and like they'd totally exaggerate it. So I'm wondering how they would look in the new animation style.
Probably horrifying.
Probably. Yeah, I fucking hate them, Chris.
That goes to a show about SpongeBob's new writing. How I've seen clips of like newer SpongeBob. And I've seen a lot of shit like that where it's like what SpongeBob's honest reaction to something will be like him peeling his own skin off or something. And
which is kind of funny.
The dynamic of SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward has changed from like Squidward being like, "Oh, you little rascals," to like, and SpongeBob and Patrick being annoying, and it's changed to like. SpongeBob and Patrick murder Squidward's entire family and then laugh about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much. They've definitely exaggerated that a lot.
So
yeah, I don't know. I like the like I kind of like some of it, like the peeling of the skin and shit like that. It's kind of funny every now and then, but they do it so much from what I've seen. And like I think you said this on an episode a long time back, or someone said this to me, but it's like they're just trying to make meme templates in every episode.
Yeah. Yeah, it could seem that way. I do like, because it's a shame. I don't know if I think they do it too much now because, like, early SpongeBob, they would have, like, one frame of, like, a complete gross out or, like, hyper-realistic fucking depiction of one of the characters.
I'm sure, what's that on your nose? And then it's like,
and it works every time because they didn't do it every fucking episode. But if you do a gross out thing every episode, it's just not funny anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I think if they are just trying to make meme templates, they're not doing a very good job.
Yeah, I haven't seen many.
Because all the meme templates are from like the first 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Of the show.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. SpongeBob's a really good show. Like, genuinely. There's so much good shit in it. And I'd like to watch the new one and just see what it's about, but like. Yeah.
Yeah. It's on Paramount Plus, I think.
Should we should we binge the entirety of SpongeBob seasons like 7 through 16 and then come back to this and be like, it fucking sucked. And that's it. That's our only reaction after watching probably 500 hours of shit.
My honest reaction, and it's just like, it's all right.
It's more SpongeBob,
okay.
but without the spung.
Like, have you ever seen the video? I think I've talked to you about this before, of a guy who made a chicken sandwich from scratch, like everything. Like, he grew wheat to make the buns.
Yeah.
He grew lettuce and tomatoes, and I think he raised chickens to kill them for the meat, and it took like 6 months and thousands of dollars.
And it was the most mid thing ever.
And he eats it, and he's like, yeah, it's okay.
I think that...
He's like, and he goes, 6 months of my life for just all right.
I think...
He was so
I guess that's what,
disappointed.
I guess that's what you could say about kids. 18 years of my life for just all right.
For just all right. That's definitely my dad, bro. 18 years for just, okay, I guess.
I think that came up on our depressing episode where we were like, man, shit sucks. We're going to move to the woods and make shit ourselves. And then you talked about that. I think that's where that came up.
Maybe. I don't know.
It was like a couple episodes back. We were just a couple of depressed boys. We're just like, man, shit sucks, brother.
Man. Hey, you know how it is. You just gotta be upset sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you do gotta be upset. But, Mr. Chris.
Yes.
What else you been up to?
Man, I'm so fucking mad, Jordan.
He's a little bit upset sometimes.
Yeah, but this one isn't sadness. This one's just pure anger and
Unadulterated
rage.
fury.
I last night saw pure red for the first time in a while.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, remember, Jordan, we talked about on the podcast where... remember the time we ordered McDonald's at work and they forgot like 80% of my order?
Yeah, you got like
And I
5
was
nuggets and that was it.
super fucking mad.
Yeah.
I went to Chipotle yesterday. Mm-hmm. Okay, and Chipotle has been declining in quality.
Ever since they got rid of the shelf, right?
I've noticed the last 6 months, they've been steadily declining in quality. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, now the meat sucks and they don't give you any, and the fucking thing costs more now. They've been declining in quality like crazy. So, you know what? I'm just gonna get Chipotle. I'm just gonna get a burrito, a chicken burrito, and
sounds basic.
Some chips and queso. And I get there. Of course, the fucking shelf goes out the window. It's still there. There's one order on that shelf. There's an order on the shelf. It's not mine. Mm-hmm. They ask me, hey, what's the name? I say it's for Chris. And they hand me my order. Number one, what happened to the fucking shelf?
Yeah.
Okay? Why is there one order on there, but mine's not good enough to go on the shelf?
Yeah, now you don't
There's
belong.
one bag on there. You could have just put mine on there.
Yeah,
It would have taken you half a second. It's walking 2 steps. Mm-hmm. Then, I get home.
Oh, you didn't check it before you left, did you?
And I open the bag. And what's in the bag? Because Chipotle's never fucked up my order in terms of, like, forgetting things. Mm-hmm. They've forgotten to put certain things in my burrito. Like, they've forgotten sour cream, like, 1 billion times. But they've never just forgotten an item of my order. So I don't bother.
It's a memory thing, memory card.
Yeah. It says we got 4 minutes.
All right, you have 4 minutes to finish this story, boy.
So basically, I open the bag, and there's just a fucking burrito in there. There's just a burrito in there.
No chips, no queso?
No chips. I thought there was no queso. I dug around in the bag. I got in there. I got the shovel out.
Put it on.
I put on the bag. I did find the queso. No chips to speak of. I was furious.
First the shelf, now this.
I was so fucking mad. And you know what? The worst thing about it is that the chips and queso, like the small, like regular one, is like $8 fucking.
Holy shit.
So, you know, fuck you, Chipotle. You're not getting any more of my business.
This week. It's Saturday.
I'm going to take my business to Taco Bell. Or Pancheros or something.
Dude, Pancheros is where it's fucking at, bro. Way better.
It's very unlikely that you have a Pancheros near you because there's like 60 locations in the total.
Yeah.
And they're all in like fucking Ohio.
Yeah.
So, if one exists near you, it's worth a try.
Dude, try it. I'm telling you. They take the masa or whatever. They make the burrito right in front of you.
They make the fucking tortilla right in front of you.
Dude, it's so mint. Oh, it's so good.
It's pretty good.
I love Pancheros.
Yeah, so I feel like they're going to be getting my business instead of Chipotle from now on.
They're also closer to you anyway.
They are also closer to me.
A lot closer. Because the nearest one's all the way in that other town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't gone to Chipotle in a long time. Once Pancheros opened and our boss
it's not worth it anymore, honestly.
Our boss talked about Pancheros one day at the gym, and I was like, I'll give it a try. And I was like, man, this is really good. It is expensive though, but I don't know what Chipotle's prices are.
Chipotle is also fucking expensive. So
expensive how? What's a burrito? Just a standard burrito. Now keep in mind, Pancheros burritos are dense. This just 3 pounds.
And I don't think they charge you for extra at Pancheros.
Usually they don't. I don't think.
Usually they don't. If someone's watching, they might. But at Chipotle, they charge you for the extra meat. Mm-hmm. So the chicken burrito with extra chicken is $13.
All right, it's never mind. Because Pancheros is 9 or 10. So.
And if you want steak, it's gonna be a $16 burrito.
Yeah, which is fucking absurd.
Yeah. So fuck you, Chipotle.
Fuck you, Chipotle.
I'm uninstalling your shitty app.
Yeah.
Now we have to uninstall this shitty SD card so we can continue this godforsaken show. Are we back in business?
Oh, we're full tilt, dude. Full throttle.
We're back on the record, baby.
I mean, Chris, we technically never left the record, so all that audio that you were saying when the video cut, that's all there.
Oh, that's all there?
Yeah, every
all the time I said that word?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
On repeat, for literally no reason, completely out of character for you, Chris.
Completely out of
And you directed it at one specific person or one specific culture. He was, of course, talking about Pancheros and how great they are. That's what you were saying.
I was being very derogatory towards Chipotle Mexican Grill.
Yeah.
The restaurant specifically.
Yeah. No, none of that happened. I can fucking show you the audio. He went to take a piss. I dipped the camera around a while. And
I did take a piss. It was a pretty solid piss.
I heard it flush and I went, ooh, it flushed.
Oh, yeah.
Reddit, what do you want, Reddit? Stop.
Dude, stop.
Stop. Don't they know I'm making a podcast? Oh, my God.
We're literally in the middle of making a podcast right now. We're literally in the middle of making some content for literally millions of people to enjoy.
Yes.
Potentially.
Millions
of people.
Any one of these episodes, Chris, it takes one person seeing it, one Bezos being like, I like this.
I like
and then
these
just
guys.
showing it to everyone,
I feel like if there's one person who would like our podcast specifically, it would be Jeffrey Bezos.
I think so. Or Timothy Tesla.
Or Timothy Tesla. Or fucking elongated muskrat would like this one. I talk shit about his cars too much. I don't think he would.
You never know, he could pay for our silence.
Maybe.
Next episode. Dude, Tesla fucking incredible.
I won't say another negative word about Tesla if you just slide me $10 million.
And what is that really?
What is that to a guy like Elon Musk? He's got the money.
Just use it as a tax write-off. It's a donation.
It's a donation to a poor boy.
Poor helpless boy.
Poor helpless boy. I don't have any money. Give me money.
Money made problem go away.
Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
Chris.
Yeah, what's up?
Speaking of Reddit.
Okay.
I went on to r/Steam Deck, and for the first time ever in Reddit history, I got valid, useful advice.
Holy shit.
So I did a little thing. I was at work one day, and I just had a sudden impulse. I was like, I'm going to start emulating PS2 on the Steam Deck.
Okay.
Why? I don't know. Just thought it'd be cool. So let me see how easy this is. So I went home, set it up, I emulated it. I emulated iNinja, which I had bought Giraffe Man's PS2 off of him to play. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, that just sits in the closet now.
Fair.
So I bought that off him. Didn't use it that much. Used it one day. And then now I emulated the game that I wanted it for. So I was like, cool. So I emulate the game. I'm playing it. And it's running in slow-mo. And I already knew how old games were tied to frame rate. Even some new games actually surprisingly are. But it's old games that are 100% tied to frame rate in terms of what speed they move. So I'm messing with the settings. And I even set it to 120 frames per second. And it didn't speed up. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm missing something. So I go on Reddit and I'm like, what's going on? And what I had found out before, Chris, was I realized I could launch the game in desktop mode on the Steam Deck, and it was fine. When I launched it from SteamOS, it wasn't. And it didn't hit me until someone in the comments goes, check your frame rate in the PCSX 2, which I had already done. I set it to a really fast frame rate. And on the Steam Deck itself. And I was like, I think he's on to something. I forgot that when I first shut the Steam Deck, I basically just global locked it to 40 frames per second. So I turn that off, I boot back in, and it's fucking great. So it's actually pretty damn good to emulate. It's genuinely better than the PS2 version just because the control is better. Like, using the Steam Deck controls is way better than using a PS2 controller.
I see.
Like, infinitely better.
Just plug in your PS5 controller directly into the PS2.
There you go.
I think it'll work fine.
So, Chris, I went down a rabbit hole. I started emulating PS2 games. I now have every Ben 10 game that released on PS2. I have Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. I have iNinja. I have Flat Out 2.
You have Spider-Man 2, you have fucking... That pizza theme goes hard.
It does. It really does. So I gotta try and play that. I didn't even know, by the way, that they made a PS2 port of the Spider-Man 3 game. Because that came out on PS3, and it's actually like a halfway decent game for the movie. And, dude, they made a PS2 port. I looked at the screenshots. I'm like, this looks atrocious. Atrocious, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Like, it looks like it's from a DS. Like, fuck, dude.
Did you ever play like a DS version of like a Call of Duty game?
Yes.
I have never played one, but I've seen gameplay of one.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Even the Wii version.
The Wii version I had and played, and the Wii version sucked.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Your aiming was all done with motion controls. So you had to, like, it was only as good as your light sensor was.
Yeah.
So doing, like, precise aiming was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
because
like,
you had the knuckle in one hand, right, to control it.
Yeah, you
and
had
then
to control your
camera like this.
Yeah, and camera and, like, shooting was, like, B or whatever on the back. So you'd have to be like, pew, 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 and move as well. And I legitimately couldn't pass the first mission because of how fucking terrible the aiming was.
Yeah. You know what I'm really good at, surprisingly, is VR shooters. I'm very good at aiming in a VR shooter.
VR shooters are kind of the same thing, but the tracking is way fucking better.
Oh, yeah, especially if you have, like, the new Quest Pro as well with the standalone controllers that track themselves. There's literally zero tracking loss, like, ever. So, I playing Onward, dude, I'm better at aiming in Onward than I am at, like, a fucking Call of Duty game. Like, I'm just better at it. It's just, like, because I can be in control. It's so fun.
They also make those little jigs that you can put your controllers in, and, like, it's a gun.
Yeah, most games support it too. It's they call it a something stock. It's a gun, like a gun stock pretty much, but there's a certain term for it to, like, put it in the game, so to speak, because you have to calibrate it for the distance apart your controllers are.
Yeah.
So they actually, a lot of the shooters support that, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty neat.
I'm gonna just take one of my guns and repurpose it. So it's heavy as fuck too.
Take one of your guns, repurpose it, like tape your controllers to it, and an Oscar walks through and you blow him away with a shotgun. Oh yeah, I forgot to take all the ammo.
I'm like, man, this game's really immersive. I can hear the people screaming in it. It's Oscar. I'm like, ah.
I don't think Oscar would survive a shotgun blast, bro.
If it hit him in the rear hindquarter, maybe only. You
Just like it clips his tail or something.
He's like, oh, fuck.
Fuck, I needed that, bro.
He walks up and just dets me. I'm like,
It's like, come on, man. What's wrong? Ooh, you just come up and shoot my tail off? What's wrong with you?
Bro's fucking used to it. He's like, what the fuck?
Come on.
Not again. Gets the tape out. Tapes it back on.
He fucking pours the solution on it and it welds itself back to his fucking, the rest of his tail.
Resident Evil fucking be like, done. I actually wonder, too, with Resident Evil being like, this only works because you're made of mold. Like, what is he pouring? Is he pouring, like, Gorilla Glue?
Mold, powder, liquid.
Mold.
He's pouring mold on the mold to make more mold.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then, they plan on doing another game, don't they?
Yeah.
What's the healing system going to be then?
It's going to be like Far Cry. You fall And you hit thumb back in place, pulls rebar out of her chest.
You get shot in the head, and you just go, ugh, gotta fix my thumb.
I always loved that about Far Cry. It's like you go paragliding, you get hit with an RPG, you fall off a tower, snap your leg, and then the healing animation is just like, all right, I'm good.
Or you get a knife, and you go, and you dig a bullet out of like your arm.
Yeah. How it even got stuck in there, to be honest with you, and didn't just go straight through. Consider you're getting shot at by people with 5.56 rifles. I don't fucking know.
You know, video game.
Video game.
See,
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah. Did you actually see Ubisoft updated Assassin's Creed Syndicate?
Did they?
Yeah, they fixed it on PS5 because I guess it had like some graphical flickering when you were doing the backwards compatibility. So they fixed it.
Wow.
That's surprising. That's one of the more underrated games, personally. That's a really fun one.
That's an interesting thing because, like, you know, Ubisoft, as far as I know, there are older Assassin's Creed games that still have a ton of issues. Like Unity still has a ton of issues, I think.
It has a decent amount. It's a lot better. Like, it's definitely playable, but it's got some weird animation glitches more than anything.
I don't know what Cyberpunk is like these days.
Everyone says it's good. My brother's playing through it right now. He said it's pretty good.
Because I think it's worth at least one more honest playthrough with the game actually fucking functioning.
Yeah.
I feel like my opinion on the game would change if I could just play it in a functioning state.
I agree. I might replay it. If we hit like a lull at some point where there's like no games, I might go back to it.
If we hit 1 million subscribers, I'll play it all in one shot and I'll stream it.
I mean, it won't be hard. It's 15 hours. You got it.
I mean, I could probably do that.
You definitely could. People do 24-hour streams. You got this. You might just kill yourself first, but... Cyberpunk, here you go. You want a tough challenge. Cyberpunk playthrough, no glitch.
I'll end the stream when I encounter a glitch.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're playing, and it ends.
Just, that is the entire stream. Yeah.
Before the stream even starts, it gives you like the stream has ended fucking screen.
It's just a still image. It's one frame. A single frame of stream.
A single frame, and that single frame is fucking VT posing in the car.
Fuck, dude.
That game, when I played it, was awful.
Yeah. I would genuinely say that game was a 3 out of 10 when I played it.
So I think it's worth another honest playthrough.
Yeah.
Because they've been updating it consistently, so.
Yeah. I think they're planning for an expansion soon. Maybe when that comes out.
Maybe when that comes out, yeah. Maybe when that comes out, I'll play. Because, yeah, I don't know.
Imagine if it's another fucking Blood and Wine level expansion.
Dude, where they make a game.
They make Cyberpunk 2.
Yeah, they make another game and just put it on to the end of the game.
I'm almost there. I'm getting there. I just got to Skellige in The Witcher. I'm like level 27. I've done like every Witcher contract.
You were level 27 and you just got to Skellige, the place you're supposed to go when you're like level 14?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I finished all the Witcher contracts on in Velen, so I'm gonna be going to. I went to Skellige and then and Novigrad. I finished like every Witcher contract I could find that I'm equipped for. The rest I have are like you need to be level 36. So, but
I see.
I'm taking my way through the Witcher, and I will be doing Blood and Wine this time once I'm done with it.
Yeah, I don't know. The Witcher, I think The Witcher 3, I've kind of played it out. I think I'm done with The Witcher 3 for a long time now. Mm-hmm. Because even when I played it again, like recently, it was my first time in a long time playing it. So now I think I'm just done with the game.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, I just beat Red Dead 2, but then 2 of my coworkers started playing it, and I was like, fuck, I want to replay it again. A fucking third time.
Red Dead 2 is definitely one of those games. Like, I think it's going to be Red Dead 2 and both the new God of Wars is going to be like my yearly playthrough for a while.
Yeah.
Because I definitely want to do another playthrough of Ragnarok. Mm-hmm. But I just don't want to do it like right this second because I just finished the game.
Yeah. I think what I need to do personally if I want to replay through Ragnarok is I beat it on hard or whatever, and like sometimes I feel like hard does affect story games and how you perceive them. in a lot of ways, like hard difficulty. So like, as much as I was like, man, Ragnarok's a really good game, I think back to it and all I remember is the fuck this Valkyrie, fuck this boss fight, fuck that. But I forget like all the good moments of story.
Yeah.
So I think if I do another playthrough of 2018 again or of Ragnarok, I need to put it on like easy, just so I can fucking breeze through it and really focus on like that relationship and shit.
Because I played it on like normal, and I thought normal was a pretty good balance of like, I'm not constantly getting fucking destroyed, but I'm not breezing through the game. Because I've said this a billion times before, like every other game, you put it on normal and it's baby mode, and you put it on hard and it's fucking impossible.
You have to be like an esports pro, competitive.
Like for me, for my level of skill, which is like fairly low, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
I also realized something about playing games on hard. That habit, I kind of have to kick it a little when I'm playing on the Steam Deck. I keep forcing myself to play games on the Steam Deck on hard, but I'm heavily limited by just the hardware being able to keep up with the game, which I'll get into a specific example in the next episode. But like, yeah, it's just like lower frame rates, obviously, more stutteriness overall than just playing on PC, and being limited to joysticks.
and a tiny screen.
And a
So you're gonna
tiny
be like,
screen. Yeah, it's just like I'm starting to realize I'm like maybe this is why I'm struggling, because like God of War 2018, I breezed through that on hard on the Steam Deck. That was fine. But like any shooter that I've played recently on the Steam Deck on hard, I just get clapped. I get stuck on objects every 5 seconds. Like I just have less spatial awareness.
I like when games have one difficulty.
I do appreciate that, or like a dynamic difficulty it builds on as well.
Because you have one difficulty, you play it, and you know, this is exactly how the developers intended for this game to be experienced.
Mm-hmm. And you get less half-assery, because like you said before about normal to hard, a lot of devs are like, we designed the game for normal, but you need a hard because we need to make it, hard for some people. So we're just going to give the enemies ridiculous aim, ridiculous health. Like, they just up the scales instead of being like, oh, maybe we make the AI smarter where it can, like, flank you. Like, that's something The Last of Us does, where it's like, baby AI, yeah, they die faster, or in baby mode, they die faster and shit, and they do less damage, but they're also just dumber. And then as you crank it up, it's like, they start to legit flank you, like, really fucking well. Like, they'll be sneaking through bushes on the sides, like, creeping, while this one's fucking coming from the left. Like, you get fucked. Not to mention, they also make it, like, pretty much one-hit kill, but...
Fair.
That's their grounded difficulty.
I think that might be my next set of games that I play is The Last of Us 1 and 2. Because the remake came out for 1 on PC recently, right?
It comes out the 28th of March.
I might just get it on PS5, honestly.
I would just get it because it's going to be cheaper there, because it's not going to be new. It's going to be on sale. And if you're going to play part 2 without waiting for a PC port, you're going to have to play on PS5 anyway.
Fair.
So I think it makes more sense to just buy them on PS5 on sale. Like I bet one of them's probably on sale right now. And then just play it on there. Because technically you'll be getting the intended experience for it. So.
I'll be playing on the original platform. I want to get the original PS3 version of The Last of Us and plug it into my PS5.
I did want to, get the PS3 version at one point just to have. But, yeah, so right now it's not on sale. It was a few days ago. I saw it for 60 instead of 70. But part 2 is $9 right now.
So I'll buy part 2, and I guess I'll fucking bite the bullet on part 1.
It's literally $9. Or if you really want to fucking save your money, you go with The Last of Us remastered PS4 version. It's gonna look a lot shittier, and I think it'll be locked to 30 frames or whatever.
I don't want that.
But
I don't want that shit.
It works okay though for a third-person shooter though. But I would recommend. I think the games are solely worth it. If you can get part 1 and part 2 for a cumulative of like $75, it's worth it. Like that's some of the greatest stuff ever. And part 2, as much as the story is divisive, is hands down one of the, if not the best third-person action shooter.
That's the biggest thing that I want out of part 2 is I want to see what everyone's fucking on about. Because I refuse to believe it's as bad as some people say it is.
Right.
I refuse to believe that. So, especially because I've heard so many other people who are saying like, yeah, no, this is actually fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it has certain things I don't like, but at the end of the day, like I will say, for all it's worth, gameplay wise, it is the best third person action shooter that's ever been created. Between your character's dynamic abilities to the actual gunplay realism, like you have like Red Dead 2 where we think of it as like, man, they went all out with the gunplay where like you have to cock each shot, like you have to do that shit. Like The Last of Us Part 2 has that, but it also has like natural weapon sway. And if you fucking dive, right? If you dive to your side, kind of like in real life, you hit the ground and then you aim, and it takes a few seconds for your character to stabilize it. They're not just like boom, lock on. And it has all that realistic shit. Like I
think Red Dead 2 is more weighted with story.
Exactly.
Than it. I think the enemies and gunplay are just there to
cannon fodder,
advance the story.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we need to give you adversaries, but they're not particularly challenging.
Yeah.
Or difficult to defeat. You just fucking bop bop bop, and they're you know.
Tell that to my coworker who he says every time he gets on a horse in that game, they lock on and kill him instantly. I don't know if it's some sort of glitch he's having.
Well, horses can be a bit difficult because
you gotta aim and ride.
You have to aim and also be aware of where the horse is. So that's why I always flee the horse when I'm on.
Yeah.
When I'm in combat, like I'll get off the horse and I'll go, okay, let me gun this person down on foot, because we're both moving. I have to track the movement of multiple objects instead of just myself and the enemy.
Yeah.
Rather than like I have to do, okay, movement of myself and my gun and the enemy and my horse and the enemy's horse probably.
I really can't believe I am a little disappointed in CD Projekt Red that they straight up remade The Witcher 3 for next gen and didn't fix Roach. Like I'm not even saying they had to like make it Red Dead 2, but like they could have made it Red Dead 1.
They could have made it not suck.
Like, why does the 2010 game have way better horse mechanics than the fucking 2015? Granted, I understand Red Dead is all about horseback riding, and I think we talked about this where like Roach is just a means of transportation in The Witcher.
Yeah.
There's literally like no story to him. There's nothing involving him. He's just a means of transportation. But like still, what the fuck? When you have such a big world, you have to transport around. Like, goddamn. Like, fuck.
Just give him a little Witcher mobile instead. Give him a car.
I wonder if there's any mods out there, actually.
Oh, there definitely are.
Dude does a Batmobile.
He's just got like a 1994 Toyota Corolla. He's driving.
Straight piped. Loud as fuck flying around.
And he's like... He's trying to escape like some kind of monster. He's like, it won't fucking start.
Pumping the gas.
He's trying to start the car, and it's just not going.
Fucking Leshy
runs up and just fucking turns the car into paste.
Ah, shit. But Chris, I think that's all we wrote. We have a lot to talk about. No, we don't. We have a lot to do though between the next 2 episodes. We're recording 3 today.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that's it, I guess.
That's all she wrote.
That's the end.
The end of me. So, as always, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed, all linked below.
Bro took a little interlude.
Fucking side cutaway. And, as always, you can contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. We also have YouTube and Spotify with a video platform.
Yes.
Huh.
Goodbye.